Okay, let's get right into it. Some truly monumental events unfolding. We're doing a deep dive today on the historic Gaza hostage release and this massive peace summit, all reportedly brokered successfully by President Trump.
Absolutely. We've got quite a bit to cover.
Yeah, 4 big things.
Yeah.
The ongoing recovery mission for those hostages who tragically didn't make it, this, well, potentially world-changing peace deal, the huge international summit in Egypt, and then the surge of humanitarian aid finally getting into Gaza.
And the central theme really is strong American leadership making things happen. I mean, the first big piece is that U.S. brokered ceasefire. That reportedly led to all 20 surviving Israeli hostages coming home safe.
Such critical news. And, the difficult next steps are already happening.
That's right.
President Trump, when he talked about finding the hostages who didn't survive, he was very direct. He said they're going and looking for bodies, and they're doing it in conjunction with Israel, and they're going to be finding quite a few of them. That kind of clear resolve is what you need.
And apparently joint Israeli-U.S. teams are already on the ground. They've reportedly started these very comprehensive searches, going through tunnel networks, sifting through debris fields. It's grim work, searching for the remains of around 28 deceased hostages.
The tough part of the deal, but necessary. And this whole exchange, it also involved Israel releasing over 1,900 Palestinian detainees, reportedly. So it's complex, but definitely a win shaped by the administration's pressure.
A decisive victory, really.
Now, speaking of getting information out in,
Yeah.
complex details, have you ever felt like you put a really thoughtful post out there, maybe even a passionate rant about something important, and it just disappears, like into the social media void?
Oh, yeah. That's super frustrating, isn't it? You pour energy in and it feels like shouting into the wind sometimes.
Exactly. Which actually brings us to something really positive we wanted to mention, the next-gen business, and they're become a reporter system.
Ah, yes. We've been looking at this, and it's a genuinely fantastic resource if you want your voice heard on these kinds of critical issues we're discussing right now. Seriously impressive.
It really is. The whole idea is to help you, the listener, kind of unlock your potential as a social media reporter. It's structured over 30 days with these daily bite-sized lessons.
And it teaches practical stuff, right? Like quick ways to find good sources, how to craft content that actually connects, and importantly, how to build an audience that, listens. It's about making an impact, not just posting.
Definitely worth checking out if you feel that frustration. Okay, so moving back to the diplomatic side, the signing ceremony, Secretary of State Marco Rubio made a pretty powerful statement.
He really did. He said, and this is a direct quote, "This is clearly in my mind, and I think in the mind of everyone in this room, probably one of the most important days for world peace in 50 years, and that's not an exaggeration."
Wow. I mean, that really underscores the magnitude of what they reportedly achieved. It sounds like months of really intense negotiations led by the U.S. finally broke through.
Yeah, overcoming some serious roadblocks, apparently. Hamas demands, regional spoilers trying to derail things, the usual suspects. But U.S. diplomacy pushed through.
And the deal itself, it's structured, right?
Yeah.
Phased implementation.
Exactly. Reportedly starting right away with things like aid corridors, demilitarization zones, practical steps. This allegedly makes it a cornerstone achievement, potentially eclipsing, previous efforts.
And crucially, the money is there to back it up.
That's key. Gulf states reportedly stepped up immediately, committing billions with a B in reconstruction pledges. That signals real buy-in.
You can almost see that buy-in visually. There's that image circulating of President Trump right there in the center with dozens of other world leaders all gathered for this unprecedented Gaza peace summit in Egypt.
Just seeing that image, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? That gathering in Sharm el-Sheikh, it was reportedly massive. We're talking over 20 heads of state. Leaders from Egypt, Qatar, Turkey, the EU, all in one place.
And they weren't just there for a photo op. They reportedly endorsed the Peace 2025 framework. That's a plan that, got the hostages released and opened up these secure aid routes.
And this came after what? A grueling 23-month war marked by terrible civilian displacement, reportedly over 1 million people pushed from their homes. So this framework is vital.
Absolutely. And a key part is the governance structure for Gaza going forward.
Right. The summit, which was co-chaired by President Trump and Egyptian President el-Sisi, reportedly cemented these multilateral guarantees for Gaza's future governance, specifically moving away from Hamas control.
Which means international oversight and funding for whatever new authority takes shape.
That seems to be the plan, building a stable foundation.
Okay, before we get to the final chapter of the war itself, let's quickly circle back to the idea of reporting and getting information out there accurately. We mentioned the next-gen business earlier.
Yes, and we really want to emphasize this isn't sponsored or anything. We just genuinely think it's a great resource for keeping up with news and getting different viewpoints.
Totally agree. Their mission is something we really admire, trying to de-radicalize the extremes here in America. They do that by sharing news reported from all sides, center, left, right-leaning reporters all contributing.
It's about healing the discourse, right? which is desperately needed. We need more people involved in reporting responsibly.
So if that resonates with you, seriously consider applying to their free Become a Reporter Challenge. They say they have hundreds of reporters getting millions of views each month. It shows that objective, multi-perspective reporting can still make a huge difference.
Absolutely. Okay, so the headline moment, the declaration that really shifted everything.
President Trump's announcement.
President Trump proclaiming, quite simply, war in Gaza is over.
Just hearing that, it changes the whole landscape. He also announced that aid is now, quote, pouring into Gaza. Reportedly over 300 truckloads a day, food, medical supplies.
And he made a point of saying much of it is paid for by people in this room, a nod to the allies, the Gulf states who stepped up.
And that funding commitment we mentioned earlier, the alleged $10 billion for reconstruction from allies and Gulf leaders, that's what makes the recovery possible.
Critically, the reports suggest we're seeing the immediate human impact already. With those secure aid corridors now open, allegedly over 100,000 displaced civilians have started returning to northern Gaza, people finally going home. And if you, listening, enjoy these kinds of conversations where we try to, unpack the facts and what they actually mean, hidden headlines as we call them, please do subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, maybe like the video if you're watching, or rate the show on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. It really helps us out.
Our goal here really is just to try and improve the conversation in this country, help ensure future generations inherit a better, more unified America.